Welcome to our ITS Arena talk on Geo for Cities. Over the last few years, we have been working more and more with cities and with authorities and governments around the world to understand the types of challenges that cities are really facing. And what we've learned is that there are very complex challenges around mobility, whether it's congestion, inclusion, safety, around sustainability, so the shift to improving air quality and reducing carbon emissions, and also doing it in a way that keeps a thriving city with thriving local businesses. And on the back of that, we've really set up our own mission to work with cities around the world to tackle some of the difficult challenges that exist around improving mobility, addressing the challenges of sustainability, and also helping local businesses thrive. So in the next 30 minutes or so, Rebecca, Britta, and myself are going to hopefully talk you through the suite of products that we have brought together to help cities solve some of these challenges. The first set of these products are the ones that we provide to our users. We have over 2 billion users globally that use our apps on a monthly basis, and creates a significant amount of reach that cities can also access. We have a set of tools that enables our partners to actually help curate the map, so to provide information that will sit on the map. And then the final set is our data insights products, where cities can actually access data and insights from us to help both with operational planning as well as operational management as well as long-term planning. Our goal in bringing all this suite of products together is to provide a set of tools that addresses some of the key challenges that we have heard and hopefully make a positive difference. And you can see just a mix of those there, from encouraging transit usage, ensuring accessibility, reducing congestion, and improving air quality. So with that brief introduction, I'm going to hand over to Britta, who is going to take you through our user-facing products.
Thank you. So I'm going to talk about our user-facing products, which serve cities, businesses, and users alike. And I give a brief introduction about Google Maps, Waze, Google Business Profile, and Google Wallet. So let's start with Google Maps. Google Maps reaches over 2 billion users each month, including hundreds of millions of drivers. So for drivers, we're showing real-time traffic data, live traffic conditions to help drivers navigate using the most efficient and safest routes. And I specifically want to call out eco-friendly routing here. Eco-friendly routing displays not only the fastest route, but also the most fuel-efficient one. So users can opt between going to their destination in the quickest way or saving not only on fuel, but also on carbon emissions. We have launched this feature at the end of 2021. And in 2023, we did an analysis and we found out that we reduced carbon emissions in the equivalent of taking 650,000 cars off the road for a year. For users driving in cities, we also show low emission and restriction zones. So we will send an alert when drivers are driving through these zones. And for EV drivers, we are showing 500,000 EV charging stations with real-time availability on Google Maps. A critical goal for us is to help increase road safety. So with real-time speed limits, we show updated information on road conditions. We show detailed street maps like road width, information on sidewalks, crosswalks, or pedestrian islands, and also railroad crossing alerts, so visual indicators for drivers that are ahead of a railroad crossing to make sure that they are safe and informed. When it comes to public transportation on Google Maps, it's really important for us to ensure that the public transport offering is reflected accurately on Google Maps. In order to do that, we're not only showing static transit schedules, so timetables, but also real-time information. And you can see it here on the left picture, the buses moving live on Google Maps, so you know if you have to sprint to your station, but also real-time information on disruptions, delays, or information on ticket prices. Here, I specifically want to focus on mode suggestions, what you can see on the right side. This is when a user is looking for driving navigation. So they want to drive to their destination, but we know that public transport is similar or shorter in time, or walking is similar or shorter in time. So you see this example here from London, where it takes over an hour with traffic jams, paying tolls to get to the city, but public transport would actually be half an hour only. So we are using proactive mode suggestions. We're telling the user also consider public transport in this case to encourage a shift to more sustainable transport options. We have done some qualitative research on this, and we have seen that these mode shift suggestions are effective. But what's most critical here is that the public transport information behind this is actually real time and accurate. Because with this, we can build user trust and we can also ensure a sustainable shift. When it comes to active modes, so this is walking and cycling, we are showing detailed street maps, accurate information on road width, details on pavements, stairs, crossings, and also glanceable directions, which means you get a preview of your path where you are planning to walk or cycle, including what you can see on the right, an immersive route flyover. I think this is in London. So you can literally experience your route before you go. For cycling routing, we want to make sure that we show cyclists the best and safest route to their desired destination. So we have a feature that shows more detailed bike lane information, which we are currently expanding to 17 cities globally. And for this feature, we show safety-focused information directly on the map, which means you can see before you are starting your ride, where are bike lanes? Do I spend most of my journey on a separate bike lane? Or do I have to use a shared road? And then users can make an informed decision on where and when to ride that bike. We also show information on if there are potential stairs and also how high is the incline of where you're wanting to go. For micromobility, so this is shared bikes and scooters, we are collaborating with operators to show information like real-time availability of the scooters, battery status, information about pricing, and also end-to-end navigation on Google Maps in over 500 cities. And in order to enable all of those features, the base layer is the data. So we have added, in collaboration with cities in Europe, 150,000 kilometers on Google Maps to ensure we can reflect real-world conditions. So recently built bicycle streets, pop-up bike lanes, for example. And as we speak, we are working on automated machine learning data models to accelerate the refresh of data for cycling. When it comes to users with different needs, we have inclusive and accessible options to promote equity. So this means for transport, wheelchair accessible options to show elevators instead of stairs, or improved walking ETAs, which literally means we have slowed down the speed for walking, if you take Google Maps, to make it more inclusive. We're also allowing a virtual preview of the path that users are taking through our Street View imagery. Moving on to Waze. Waze is our community-based driver app, which is based on real-time information on traffic and road conditions used by hundreds of millions of drivers. On Waze, we show you information like a crash history alert. So what is this? This is actually information about an area where we know that there have many accidents happened in the past. So Waze will then tell you that users should be more careful here because there's a history of crashes in the next mile. Waze also shows emergency vehicle alarms to enhance the safety for both the drivers but also the first responders, making sure that drivers know if there's an emergency vehicle stopped on the sideline of their road as they're approaching. Speed limit decrease alerts are actually an advance warning of significant speed reductions. So we can help promote smoother deceleration, reducing of harsh braking, accident, and also speeding tickets. As I said in the beginning, Waze is based on a community of contributors. And those contributors can share information such as school zones alerts. So knowing when there is a school zones and school times, so drivers can be aware of that. Or information about other hazards like speed bumps. And last but not least, when it comes to crisis response, a vast network of local volunteers, so-called map editors, help us to collect real-time data, provide this critical information to the cities, and make sure we can then empower communities to navigate crisis events safely. Also, drivers can help with those contributions that I mentioned. So drivers can report and validate incidents like road closures, crashes, road conditions, or traffic, and ensure that the Waze app is fresh and up to date. And they can also do that conversationally, meaning as a voiceover while they drive. Using dedicated tools, there are Waze drivers volunteers who also help build, edit, and protect the map directly. So it always shows an accurate, hyper-local view of the roads. And one last anecdote I want to share about Waze. You might be wondering why there is a lynx cat here on the slide. So here where we are on the Iberian Peninsula, it is the home of the critically endangered Iberian lynx. However, collisions with vehicles on roadways are hurting the conservation efforts. So the authorities equipped 10 Iberian lynx with GPS-enabled collars before releasing them back to nature. This then enabled Waze users to know when a lynx cat is near the road that they're driving on. So talking about contributions to the maps, we now also have cats reporting themselves on the Waze app. Moving on to Google Business Profile. Google Maps has over 250 million places and businesses listed with 500 million contributions. So people that are adding information like reviews, opening hours, pictures, and so on. And Google Business Profiles can be useful not only for businesses, but also for civic services. So businesses can turn people who search for their goods and services to a customer because they can actually personalize their profile, share useful information like operating hours, photos, special offers, posts, and more. And then for city authorities, Google Business Profile can increase the accessibility to those civic services. So the authorities can claim ownership of public buildings, offices, venues to ensure that opening hours, information, just as the website it links to, are correct and up to date. So citizens can get access to these services on Google Maps and search digitally. The last product feature I want to talk about is Google Wallet. For Google Wallet, public transit users can actually store digitized transit passes in the Google Wallet. So for example, the Deutschland ticket in Germany, but also your monthly transit pass, they can then view fare cap progress, see information on their travel activity, and also get important notifications from transit authorities. So I just talked to you about our user-facing products, which are Google Maps, Waze, Business Profiles, and Google Wallet. And now I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Rebecca, who will share more about how partners can collaborate with and contribute to those platforms. Thank you.
Thank you, Britta. So we've seen all the user-facing products that we have available at Google, but we want to focus on this section on the partner contribution platforms. And I want to highlight that it's very key, our collaboration with authorities to make sure that all the products that we've seen are accurate and up to date and make sure that your communities have access to the latest information. The first product we want to talk about is Transit Partners, which is a platform that is dedicated to transit agencies and operators, where they can share with us information about public transit so the user journeys can be smooth and easy on how to move from A to B. I don't want to talk too in detail about this because Britta already gave a very good overview, but one question that agencies might ask themselves is, I already have my transit app, why should I collaborate with Google? And there's a very clear reason why we are adding value to this. We are with where the users are. So imagine a scenario where somebody is looking for a restaurant in a city that they don't know very well, and they find the restaurant, and they can directly from there arrive to how to get to that restaurant on one of the most sustainable ways, which is by bus, a bus that they didn't know, and from there they can get all the information that is actually coming from the agency. What are the key benefits to partnering with us? One of them, as Britta explained before, are real-time updates. So if there's any problem in the network, if you have communicated to us, we can pass it on to the citizens. And the second one is the mode shift, so we can encourage, for example, people that are planning to take the car, that there's a better alternative with public transport. For these two key features, we definitely need close collaboration with the transit authorities, because they are the ones that have the information, and without the good information, we cannot provide this service. And the last key benefit here is the multilingual planning. So imagine you have a visitor to your city that doesn't speak your language. They have access to the same information that your users have, but in their native language. Going into the technical detail on this platform, so you have a way to upload your feed, where you have a validation report, so you can see the errors that you have, you can improve your data, and you have a set of tools that could be helpful beyond sharing data with Google. Also, service alert, so it's the way that you communicate problems with the network. There's two ways to pass it on to us. One of them is manual entry, which is a bit more cumbersome, but it can be done in cases of one-off. Or, as I mentioned before, adding your active feed. So you have the information in real time, and we can pass the information to the users of public transport. The second tool I want to talk today is Google Map Content Partners. Google Map Content Partners is the one-stop shop for all your geospatial data. So you can share with us data from postal codes to speed limits, and very much all the data in between. You can do it in different ways. So static data, you can do a one-off upload. So there's something small that you want to share with us. So you do it once, in a few clicks, we have the data. And there's another recent feature that is very interesting, that is recurrent updates. So if you have a data set that you know, for example, is changing every 3 months, you can just give us the URL to that data set, and it will be automatically updated with the frequency that you consider. What are the goals that we're trying to achieve? So the first, well, they're both important, but this is very important to me. Safer, more efficient navigation in your city. So we want to enhance the road safety and also reduce congestion and have better navigation for local and visitors. For this, we need to know what are the rules of the road. We need to have the accurate speed limits. We need to have the one-way roads, the roads that are for residents only. So all these rules we need to apply to be able to navigate the people in the right way. And the second thing, we want to encourage eco-friendly travel options, like, for example, encourage people to walk more or go on a bike. And for this, we also need to have the information where are new pedestrian streets built, or where are the new bike lanes being implemented. Another goal is want to support tourism and local businesses. So one of the ways we do this is enhancing the experience for tourists in your city. So if we have all the information of the key points of interest, we can display it to your visitors. And also for small businesses, we can improve the visibility and increasing the foot traffic, encouraging the local economy as well. And last but not least, I think Britta mentioned it before as well, crisis response. This is very important to us, and disaster recovery. So we can display things like, for example, shelter locations if there's a disaster. And for this, we need a very close collaboration with authorities. This is how it looks in the tool. So this is the automated data sharing. As you can see, it's extremely simple. You just put a URL, you just specify a bit of the formats, and then how often do you update it? And in this case, it's monthly. So there will be a monthly pool of the data, and this data will be frequently updated in our maps. Another tool that we launched recently is called Direct Map Edits. This has been, had received very good feedback from the cities, which in a few clicks, you can change the road, you can add more information, you can tell us what's wrong with the map. For now, it's only available for changes on roads, but we hope to expand that to more features in the future. And the way you can manage the things that you share with us is that there's one dashboard where you will see all the things that you sent to us. You will see the status, and you can follow up and be up to date on if your uploads have been successful or not. And this is something that we've been asked multiple times, not only in this Congress, but many times before, is how can I contact Google? How can I fix this? How can I provide data to you? So when you sign up to the Google Maps Content Partner platform, you have access to direct support. So you can have a contact direct to our technical teams who will also ask you information about the data that you provided, or you can ask them information about how to work with us. Last but not least, I want to talk a bit about Waze for Cities and what's offering for you. So the Waze for Cities Partner Program is a program where authorities can share critical real-time information, and this is very key. This information of constructions, alerts, or closures is shared not only with Waze, but also with Google Maps. So with this platform, sharing your feed with Waze for Cities, you will have your information displayed on both services, making sure that the navigation for the users of both Waze and Google Maps is seamless. What are the benefits for partners? So we want to keep your community informed and safe. If there's any closures, if it's roadworks, we want to be able to display it. We want to improve the traffic flow. And also for you, you can also monitor traffic and road incidents in real time with Waze. And also, as we mentioned before, like it's very important on crisis scenarios to have the right information. So if you're collaborating with us, we're able to help you with that. And this is how the Waze for Cities toolbox looks. So it's a free and unified data platform where you can access all the tools for your traffic needs. Also for the data people out there, this is how sharing the feed looks with us. So you will upload your feed and you will see the events that have been successful, which means that we've taken them in as valid. And then for the errors, you will be able to see why they have not been taken on. So it might be because you're missing a field, so you will have some information that will help you to improve your feed. You have also access to the map editor on our great Waze community. You can collaborate to fix problems with the map or add other features that we're missing. And also you have access to a very easy tool for real-time incident reporting and monitoring. So if there's something that you cannot report with the feed, you can also do it manually here. And that was all for me. I will pass it on to Sarah Jane for Data Inside Products, our last piece of the presentation.
Thank you. I asked Rebecca to say this is the last part of the presentation in case the siesta was kicking in, so nearly there. So the final section is around the insights that we share back with our city partners. Rebecca just talked about Waze for Cities in terms of a platform for sharing disruption data. It's also a platform that we use to share information back with cities. We take anonymized and aggregated data from all of our Waze users and give cities a view of that to see where the kind of disruptions are, the hotspots, and also to provide what we call unusual traffic alerts, so things that you need to be notified to bring your attention to. These are really helpful. We see many of our partners who use them in their traffic control centers. I think today I've spoken to people from Tallinn to Amsterdam who are actively using this in their traffic control centers and have really good experiences with it. You can take a feed and incorporate it directly into your processes today. We also have historic information that you can access. So you can download a set of historical information to do analysis on traffic patterns to help with future long-term planning. And we also have an incredible community of editors who support everything that happens in Waze for Cities, who can actually also support you within a city context to be able to check your data is accurate and to optimize how you're using Waze for Cities. Shifting from roads onto our Environmental Insights Explorer tool. This is a tool that we launched, I think, about 6 years ago now. And we have basically about 6 or 7 years of data year on year showing trends in emissions within cities. So it's a free tool. In fact, I must advance, all of these tools that we've shown you are free. So we're not trying to sell anything here. This is all for your benefit. where you're able to access consistent, updated data to help understand the emissions within a city context. The four areas that we show is firstly, buildings emissions. Secondly, transportation emissions, which is directly using what we have within Google Maps, showing both emissions data as well as trip data by mode and how that changes year on year. And we show the potential that you can have for rooftop solar. So you can use our satellite imagery that you typically see through Google Earth to understand where the potential is for solar within a city context. And in many cities around the world, we also have a tree canopy view as well to help plan where there are gaps and likely to be heat issues within a city. Typically, our partners are using these to help understand emissions, but also to monitor the progress against SUMPs or other climate action plans so that they can see progress in a consistent way. We have 7,000 cities data available in Environmental Insights Explorer, which you are welcome to access and do your own analysis with, and again, download the data from. Another insights platform that we have, this is actually still in a pilot phase, so it's not open access, but you can go onto the website and sign up for it if you're interested in it. It's called Project Greenlight. Not sure it's particularly inspiringly named, but this basically is looking at how to optimize traffic lights, both in terms of increasing flow, but also reducing carbon emissions at that point because we reduce the number of stop-starts that happen. We've worked with cities literally all around the world now to test the capabilities in it. It's using AI capabilities. And we've been able to see in the cities that we've tested this in a 30% reduction in the number or time of stops in the duration, but also a 10% reduction in emissions. We also have a tool which has been rolled out globally. It's part of our research organization. Again, it's using significant AI capabilities to identify where there are what's called riverine flood risk areas. And we use that platform. You can access the platform. It's called Flood Hub. And it actively will send out notifications to residents in those areas to warn of potential floods that are coming as well. And it's now available in over 80 countries around the world. Final one. Most of you, I suspect, have searched for your home at some point on Google Earth. I know I have. There is new capabilities now within Google Earth. They're just being launched, so it's not fully rolled out yet, but please keep an eye out for this. It might be time to revisit your local home once again, where we're actually integrating Gen AI capabilities into Google Earth. So the example here, which is very relevant to cities, is can you show me where EV chargers, for example, are based to help with EV charging planning? So do check that out. So that's our very whistle-stop tour through all of the products that we have. So we've talked about the user-facing products, the products or the platforms where you can contribute to curate the map, and also the tools that we have to provide insights. Our biggest encouragement to you is we have a lot of reach. We have 2 billion users. Please do exploit what we have to help drive the green shift, to help make sustainable choices in your cities. Put our products to work for you. We're not brilliant. We don't have one platform, all of this on yet. We are working on it. We've got 3 different QR codes, apologies. But feel free to take pictures of the different platforms that we have if you want to know more information about them. So if you do have any questions, feel free to come and speak to us afterwards. So thanks, everybody. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.